Hello, everyone. This is Between the Lines, and I'm sure as you all know, over the past several years, our country, the United States, has become more divided culturally, politically, economically, and more in more ways than it has ever been. And through all this, there's been a lot of rhetoric and a lot of wrath that's all over the media, all over what you see and what you hear. And so, our goal in forming this, especially after the election, is to take the time and stand up and try and take a look between everything that's going on. What we want to do is take a look at where the world is, what's going on, and most importantly, how as a nation we can heal and start looking forward together. So, to start with this, we need to look at where things have been, where they're going, and what is going on in the media today so we can truly take a look between the lines. Let's go. Okay, the first step is to look at what's going on in the world today by looking at the past. This election wasn't the cause of all the issues in the world today, and they weren't coming out to light just because this election was important. While it is a monumentous and historic event, we're having our first colored woman in office as the vice president, and she herself said that she will not be the last. But why is that such a momentous occasion? Well, let's start with the beginning. And I don't mean the beginning of mankind. I mean the United States of America, the same one that, starting from hundreds of years ago, has been involved in so much strife, cultural conflict, and disparity between the races and its own people as well as the rest of the world. But that starts so long ago, and what happened back then, we're going to go over with this channel, but it's time to talk about it. And that's what we want to do. Because there's so much that comes to us through our media, through education systems, through the partisanship, the lobbying, the politics, and everything that you hear from people, whether it's emotion, logic, or otherwise, or personal anecdote. It's time to take a step back and start talking about what needs to be done to actually grow together as a people. Now, let's start with our brand new president's first speech and, of course, his vice president's speech. So let's take a look at some of what they said right here.
Congressman John Lewis, before his passing, wrote, "Democracy is not a state, it is an act." And what he meant was that America's democracy is not guaranteed. It is only as strong as our willingness to fight for it. To guard it and never take it for granted. And protecting our democracy takes struggle, it takes sacrifice, but there is joy in it, and there is progress, because we, the people, have the power to build a better future.
The power to create a better future. That is what we need, because as a people, everyone's become so divided. You see the protests on the street, the hatred, the white supremacists, and the neo-Nazis that started rising up, the Proud Boys, and everything that has stood against unity. And Kamala's promising to change that, and that's what we need from our leadership, but it goes down from there. A leader, a president, and especially a vice president can only do so much. We, the people, have the power. And that's. Let's go on. Watch what she says about this.
And when our very democracy was on the ballot in this election, with the very soul of America at stake, and the world watching, you ushered in a new day for America.
You voted. We voted. As an American people, that is the greatest privilege and the greatest honor, to be able to give your voice to an elected body that controls the largest military force, one of the largest economies, and one of the most diverse, and hopefully continually to be more diverse, countries on the planet. That is what we are, and that is what made this happen. Over the past 4 years, as Kamala said, as our new vice president has said, and you've all seen it, there have been protests, there has been unrest, there has been upset, and we need to look at why. what's going on, what's spurring this, and what can we do to get to a better spot. Because we, the people, we, the American people, we need to get past this together. And that's what we've said with this election. There's going to be a leadership that has promised so much change that all we can do is hope for and keep our eyes open. Don't believe the bias. Don't get lost in the rhetoric. Always take a step back and, again, take a look between the lines. With that selfless plug, getting this started, let me take a step back to say thank you all for just giving us a chance to talk about everything, because we have so much that is going to come up over the next few years, I am sure. With how much there needs to heal, how much is going to happen, how much is promised to happen, all I can tell you is that we will be there to help you look at everything and hopefully give you a perspective that can help make sure that the next election comes around, you're going to know what you're getting into and you're going to feel good about it, just like obviously so many do right now. Look at the streets, look at the celebrations, and let's keep the momentum of unity and brotherhood growing together. Now, with that said, as we're building this channel, it would really help a lot if you can just support that YouTube algorithm, smash that like button, dislike, leave a comment, and please hit that subscribe button so we can talk about what we're going to be doing, and you will know whenever we're doing it, and join in the conversation. Democracy is about having your voice heard, so let us hear it too. But let's get back to this. So, Kamala had a lot to say. And I strongly suggest you watch the full speech and always look into what your politicians are saying, because they're promising good things. Joe Biden, our new president, President-elect Biden, he said, my fellow Americans, this isn't about partisanship. This isn't about, what skin color, what your background is. It's about what we can do to come together and, of course, to ease the wounds that have been caused by things like systematic racism and so much more that's plagued our society, plagued our country, and plagued our people. And what we're going to see over the next few months is how everyone's going to react. The people that are moving into the Senate, the people that are going to be setting up his team, and hopefully not too much opposition as the previous president is going to be leaving his office. There's been a lot of shifting hands. I mean, Joe Biden's going to be 46th president. And so this isn't the first rodeo, but there hasn't been quite a situation like Donald Trump. And so all we can do is sit back and wait and see based on what we've heard. And again, talk about it as we go to make our voice heard and make sure that we are going in the right direction together. But again, to quote Joe Biden himself, our new president-elect, the whole world is watching America, and they have been watching. And so this is the future. This is the present, and you're all part of it. And so let's get on it and just see what's going on between the lines next time. Thank you, and have a great day.